Shalom, and welcome to Challenging Torah. This week's portion is Bo. Come in, go in to Pharaoh, God says. Bo el Paro. Go in, Moses, and face your fears. Go into the darkness. There is to be no liberation without going in and facing that which most frightens you. A good friend said to me as we're entering this new year, "So, Rabbi, what are you afraid of?" I'm trying, the person said, board member, to push myself to do one thing that I'm afraid of in the new year and do it well. Are you afraid of heights? Are you afraid of crowds? Are you afraid of looking foolish in public? Are you afraid of public speaking? That I'm not. What are you afraid of? And I looked at our insecurities and our fears and my own fears, which are financial or perhaps fears around my family, fears that all of us share. And I realized there is no liberation from Egypt, from our Mitzrim, from our Mitzar, our tough, tight places, without going in and facing the darkness. Are you afraid of relationships? Then go in and face it and get your feet wet, Moses. So Moses goes to Pharaoh and says, "No, there are 3 more plagues. I know it hasn't gone well for you, but if you don't let these people go, we will have locusts, we will have darkness, and then, of course, the matter of the firstborn son. First locusts come and eat up the land. Pharaoh almost sends them and changes his mind. And we know what happens, that the plague finally of the firstborn child, matching the decree of Pharaoh to put those babies in the Nile, that will happen and ring the bell of liberation. But first is the plague between those two of darkness." We're told in Exodus that Moses held out his hand towards the sky, and thick darkness descended on all of Egypt. And all the land of Egypt for 3 days, people could not see one another. Ish lo ro'eh ro'ah et achiv. Nobody could see each other. That's really the darkest of darkness, when we have no idea that there are others around us, that we are doing this together as community. And so no one could move, it says. They were locked in their dwellings for 3 days. There was only light in the houses of the Israelites. Only by looking and seeing the community of Israel do we get to experience liberation as well. So when we finally become the Jewish people, it's at this very moment. We need to look around, see each other, and eat. What else do Jews do? And God says, it's the 14th day, the month of Nisan, take a lamb and share what you cannot eat with your neighbors. If one has a home that is too small for a full lamb, let him share with a neighbor who may have more bounty. No one is to be left out. Nobody is to be alone. Nobody who chooses to go, and not everyone chose. No one is to be left behind. What do the Jews as Jews do first? They eat. They eat, and they celebrate, they share, and then they mark their houses so that the angel of death will pass over. And then, as Jews, they are told, this will be your holiday, your celebration, for all of time. We declare this celebration even before we leave Egypt. We're already celebrating our leaving. We have faith that it's going to happen. And we get on the road as a people. But wait, how exactly do we know when to start if we're going to do this for all time? We need a calendar. We need a marking. Between the declaration and the leaving, we have the words, "This month shall mark for you the beginning of months." Rosh Chodesh. Rosh Chodesh Nisan is one of the Jewish New Years. There's 2, Rosh Hashanah and Rosh Chodesh Nisan. Well, we have more than one New Year. We have our secular New Year, welcome to 2014. We have Rosh Hashanah, we have a birthday. We know how to celebrate New Years by introspection, by turning around and seeing one another, by making a resolution to be a better person. We know about a new year. And this moment of marking time is so important because how will we know when the holidays are? And so we establish that. And as we establish it, we are blessed right now for Rosh Chodesh to fall this year on our secular New Year, which means this is yet another moment of our own liberation. May we leave our Mitzrayim, may we leave our Mitzrayim, our places of narrow. May we face our own internal places of darkness. And may this be a year of liberation for all humankind, wherever they are enslaved in any fashion. May 2014 be a year of liberation.